Hello everyone. In this video I am going to walk through about this PPT for the project facilitating document annotation using content and querying value. So what are we going to see in this video is the problem statement, existing system and their drawbacks, proposed system and their advantages, followed by use case diagram, data flow diagram and architecture diagram, and then the entire project modules breakdown. Okay, so let's get started now. So to state the problem very clearly, I can say that large number of organizations today generate and share a textual description of their products, services and actions. So everything is getting digitized, like n number of websites are getting generated. So and they will be sharing the textual description of each and everything. So there will be an author who uploads the product to the database, either to any of the database. So any website take into consideration, they might upload something to that website, right? So they will be giving the description of that product. So whenever he uploads the product to that database, the intention of that guy is that that product should be listed down by the search engine most effectively. Like whenever the user searches for any product, that should be listed down in the search result. Okay, so there's such collection of textual data, right? It will be containing significant amount of structured information which remains buried in unstructured data. Say he will be writing one paragraph of data. Say he will be uploading the product called book. Okay, so he will be writing one page of information about that book, but whenever the crawler or whenever any other search engine comes and reads the textual description of this product, it cannot spend the entire amount of time to read one full page about this product, right? So it might skip it. So what we call is some useful information about the product went buried inside that unstructured data. Okay, so it thus making the product invisible to the user whenever he is searching for it. So this is about the problem statement. So existing system, what we can have is we have tools like content management systems like Microsoft SharePoint, like that. So what they will do is they will allow the user to share the documents and annotate them in an ad hoc way. I mean in a temporary way, in an untyped way. Say whenever you upload the product into the database, so they allow you to tag them. Like you can specify the attributes. You should specify the selected attributes. Okay, you cannot add your own attribute. So there will be a predefined attribute like date, time or something like that. So you need to choose only from the list of those attributes. So we call it as an ad hoc way, temporary way. So similarly, the second existing system happens to be something called Google Base. So what Google Base is going to do is it allows the user to define attributes for their objects or choose from predefined templates. So like it won't dynamically suggest us the attribute. It will just ask us only to create it. So it doesn't recommend anything for us. So it will completely leave us only to give the entire details about the product. So the attributes also we only should be generating it. So that's the second existing system. So of course the drawback of these things is, as mentioned here, untyped annotations will be more expensive. Like there will be not accurate information, right? Like everything will be predefined. Okay, maintaining them is of waste. So it is more expensive. Even if you're spending very less amount of time and resource for that, it is very expensive. That much is not required actually. So the second disadvantage happens to be the predefined templates, like predefined attributes. It requires lot of manual efforts in terms of maintenance. Like we should keep on updating or reporting for the reporting purpose, etc. So it will be inaccurate because we are not dynamically generating it. So we are allowing the users only to annotate it. So he might make mistakes. So we call it as an inaccurate. So these are the drawbacks of the existing system. So what are we going to propose is, so we are going to propose a novel approach for generation of structured metadata. Like we are only generating the attributes dynamically. So we are not asking the user to input the attribute, so we are only generating it, and we are asking the users to specify the value for that attribute. Okay, so and also we provide the algorithms to identify the structured attribute and likely appear within the document. So this is the second thing we are going to propose. Okay, so now let us get into the advantages of this. So we are going to generate the accurate and superior result compared to the existing system, because in the dynamic time, just before uploading the document, we are calculating the attributes. Okay, so and it is very less expensive because we are not maintaining any predefined templates or any untyped attributes and all. So nothing will be stored basically. Okay, so metadata will be structured, like it will be a key value pair. Like user uploads one document, so we intercept the user with the dynamically generated metadata. Okay, like key value pair. So user will be entering the value for that key as a value, and then he will be saving them. So that's about the advantages. So let's get into the use case diagram, the data flow diagram, and the architecture diagram. So this is how the use case diagram for this project looks like. So if you can clearly see, there are three roles in our project. So we call the first one as an admin, the second one as an author, and the third one as a user. Okay, so this guy happens to be the common role. Okay, it could be either any one of these things. So if you can see, the admin can either view the workload definition, the LQV, IT, and IA, or manage the user. So the workload definition happens to be the query definition, like what actually the user will be searching for, whether the user will be searching only for player, or whether the user will be searching for player and country both, or whether the user will be searching for player or country. So that we call it as a query. So that set of all queries, we call it as a workload. So that workload definition the admin can give. So of course the admin can also see the value of LQA, LQV, IT, and IA. So these are the three parameters in our algorithms we are going to use, so which you can directly see it in the execution part. So admin can manage the users, like he can see the list of all the authors available and all the users registered in our account, and you can delete if anybody is not required in the project. So the second role happens to be for author. So what author can do is he can upload the documents. While uploading the documents, our algorithm, we name our algorithm as CADS, collaborative adaptive data sharing. So our algorithm will come into picture, and it will execute, and it will dynamically generate the attributes, and it will be displaying to the author. So the author will provide the value for that attributes, and he will be submitting the data. So that thing happens in the upload documents. So the third type of user here is just the user. So what he can do is he can search anything. Okay, so anything he can search. So the search engine, what we have written, what it does, it doesn't read out the entire document of the product, entire description of the product. Instead, it's going to read only the metadata of the product. So we are going to save a lot of time from the crawler end. Okay, the search engine end. Okay, so that's about the use case diagram. So on the other end, if you can see, all the three person, like admin, the author, and the user, all three of them can register themselves as a new user in our account, in our project. They can manage the profile, meaning they can edit the profile, edit the first name, last name, all those things and all, and they can log in to our project and log out from our project. So these are the three components which is common to all of them. So now let us see the data flow diagram. So we will be maintaining database for sure, because we need to store some user information along with some the first name, last name, and something else like that. Okay, so we'll be having a common interface. So we'll be having the user interface, author interface, and the admin interface. So what actually will be having the common interface is the component for registration, managing the profile, and then login and log out from the project. So what we'll be having, registration indicates new account registration, managing the profile indicates updating the profile or deleting the own account, login and log out, access control. Okay, so the author interface just contains the upload module. So using upload module, the CARS algorithm can be executed. So for user we are going to provide only the search interface. So what the search component will do is it searches for the documents that are being uploaded in the author interface. So for admin will be able to define the workload. Okay, you will be able to view the algorithm parameters. You will be able to perform the manage users, like you can see the list of all users registered, and you can delete the user if you don't want to any one of them to use this product. Okay, so that's about the data flow diagram. So coming to the project architecture diagram, our entire project is a dynamic web project, right? So it will be working in 3 layers. So we call the first one as the database layer. So for database layer we use MySQL. The second one we call it as a business logic layer. For business logic we use JBoss, and the third one is the client layer. For client layer we use browser, any of the available browser. So in the database layer we will be creating a small database. So we'll be storing the user information in the database, but all the articles uploaded will be stored in the serializable concept in Java. So because the article could be any big in size, right? So we cannot store it in the database because it's also unstructured data. So we are going to store it in external text file only, but using the serialized concept in Java. Okay. So in the business logic layer we will be containing lot of Java coding, like we'll be writing the servlets within the component. We'll be writing the helper classes, the utility programs, and the interfaces, the DAOs, and the controller pages. Okay, so in the front end we'll be coding in the browser and the views. So basically we code it in the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Ajax, jQuery, Dojo, all those things will be used in the front end. So that's about the project architecture diagram. So now let us get into the project modules breakdown. So our entire project can be primarily divided into 8 modules. So whereas in the first module we are going to design the database, like we are going to come up with how many tables we need in our project, and what each table column should be containing. All those things and all we are going to define in module 1. So we call it as database design. And also we are going to code something called DAO layer. So what DAO layer actually is, DAO layer is actually a service layer, so which happens to be the layer for accessing the database. Like if the user wants to write the data to the database, he will not do it directly. Instead he will ask the DAO layer to do it. So if he wants to write the data, or if he wants to read the data from the database, so he will not do it directly with respect to database. He will ask the DAO layer to do it. So that's the DAO layer. So in module 2 we are going to implement the user interface design. The front end screens we are going to create here using the Twitter, Bootstrap, Ajax, and HTML, CSS libraries. So in module 3 we are going to implement the core operations like upload module, and then the algorithm. We are going to implement the algorithm, entire CARS algorithm in module 3. In module 4 we are going to implement author modules, author specific components like upload. So in module 5 we will implement user specific components like search. So in module 6 we are going to implement admin specific modules like workload definition, viewing the users, analytics, all those things. In module 7 we are going to implement the common modules like login, logout, register, all those things. In module 8 we are going to deploy our entire project in JBoss. So till module 8 everything will be running in Tomcat. So once the entire project has been completed, we will move our entire project into JBoss in module 8. So this is about the PPT explanation. Hope it was clear. Thank you.